I went to find a wireless power bank. A typical wireless power bank, and you can see typical Chinese branding with all the logos here, everything in the bad English. And I gave an instruction to ChatGPT 5. To act as an expert, but before that, sorry, let me brief you really quickly on how I create my prompts. I use a prompt guider framework. Particularly, there are different frameworks that you can do to make your prompting better. This is a whole course on its own. I don't want to get into it too much, but I can tell you which one I prefer the most, given my experience. I prefer race. So role, action, context, and expectation. So I specify the role, and this goes. The reason why I choose this is because of how large language models function. So large language models function by taking your prompt, whatever you write, it converts that into a vector. A vector is an address somewhere in its brain. So when you add, for example, act as a senior software engineer or act as a senior product specialist, it will turn it changes the calculation of the vector address and thereby gets different information along with it. That's why to me, I prefer using race because adding that extra context will make your prompt better. So, and we've tested this out with the source code that comes out. Like by literally adding the word senior makes all the world of a difference, or expert or specialist. So okay, that's just a bit of a crash course. Going back to it, I asked it to act as an expert product designer to create a brand identity for the power bank for the Asian market. The brand is expected to evoke a sense of modernity, intelligent. It has to be intelligently designed. It has to be minimalistic, and it should ensure trust and safety. So it comes out and pops up with a brand identity for me. It named it RX, gave it a tagline, gave it 4 brand values, even gave it visual identity. Gave packaging, design, tone of voice, and these are important. You create brand identity, market position. Even gave me a launch campaign to start with it. So I said, okay, now that I have all the information I have, imagine from an idea of, let me just get a power bank, I'll white label it from here, I'll buy it from AliExpress. The next thing is, all right, I need a logo. I had it create, this takes a while, but that's why I decided to do it beforehand, to create Oryx, Power Redefined. It created a logo instantaneously, and first try, no misspelling, no issues. And I asked it, using the same information that you fed me, using this brand identity to create the logo. I also told it to create, now that it has context, right? It created the brand identity, it already knows what the brand identity is. Now I asked it to do several different tasks. The first task was to create the logo, and the second task was to create packaging. Not bad.
You're the one is the AI the one who make the name, the brand name? Or
yeah.
You're the one?
It's AI, look. So I asked it, so this is what I gave it. I gave it this really bad Chinese looking power bank. I literally copy pasted this from AliExpress, and I told it I want a brand identity. I used the race the race framework to be able to create, and it gave me the name and tagline. So what you saw over there, RX, is over here with the tagline Power Redefined. It even had the package design. It even had visual identity, what it should look like, a minimalist name, monogram, even giving it the primary colors and typography. So by the time I asked, now that it has context, this is what it came up with, RX. So from that Chinese generic looking thing, we now have a completely new package. This is also generated by the same one because part of the brand identity was to create packaging design. So this is all in line with it. So that being said, it's not perfect. So if you notice, it will have some. It's not visually seen, but there are some misspellings, like little tiny words here. Maybe not here. I'll show you a bit more later. And this is why you still need the human in the loop. You still need people to create the process. So I'll take for example. I said, great. Now that we have that, I need renders for my e-commerce site. I want to build a website, but I need a render for the main banner. And for some reason, even though it knows the context, what's this? This is not the brand that it created. This is completely different. It just hallucinated. And it still has that. It's still there. The good thing about the new models now is that you can actually create an editing pen. And and then choose, because like I said before, it's no longer diffusion. It can sequentially change the pixels. We can now create this context and tell it what to do. And that's actually what I did here. I highlighted the section I want to change, and I gave it the logo just to make sure that it remembers, and it created a small sample. I wasn't satisfied with that, so I kept iterating after a while. And I actually asked it, okay, well, now that we have something similar already, I need you to act as a marketing specialist. I want to promote this application. I'm planning, as every white label reseller in the Philippines, I'm probably gonna sell this in Lazada. I'm probably gonna sell this in Shopee. But I do want the site to use for marketing purposes. So I did tell it that's my eventual goal, and it created a website specification for me. So with this website specification, I said, okay, I'm happy with this. I do need to create a render for it because the stuff that they gave me wasn't that good. So I created this. I asked it to create a render for the Oryx power bank for display, and I gave it this as a reference. Again, it was from the website. I just copy pasted, and I told it it must have transparent background and feature the power bank on its own without being attached to the phone. Details. The more detail you can get, the better it will look. And this was the final product for the render. So I took that render, and then I went to one of the vibe coding sites. I went to Lovable. I fed it the specs over here. Thought for a moment. This takes about like 20 minutes, so that's why I decided to do this. Otherwise, we would run out of time. And it created a website. Initially, it didn't have this design. I had several attempts, if you notice here, where I had to feed it the exact picture and tell it the exact place that I wanted it to be. And it was able to generate this entire site. And actually, this is already a usable site. If you look at it, all of it is rendered by code. It's not an image. So I can actually launch this here launch it through a separate browser. And it already loads as a completely new marketing site. There you go. And this was done in just today. So it's not all there yet, as you can see. There's still so many things that I want to do. And if I wanted to replace an image or a logo here, make it transparent, all I have to do is give it context again to be able to generate that. So I've given you an example of how you can use the latest AI models to create content, to create media, and also to do the thing that I said, which was vibe coding. So these are all some of the things where you can now, if I wanted to, all I have to do is contact AliExpress, buy the product, and then register my business. I have a site. I just have to redirect them to Shopee and Lazada. It gets more powerful than that, and there's so much more you can do. But this is just a simple thing that you can do in probably an hour. This took me an hour to do. Okay, so that is my demo for building a product to business in just minutes, or rather an hour. Any questions so far about all the use cases about large language models?